It's Luke here for SimBoxx. I'd like to be joined by Adam Smith, head of boxing for Sky Sports. How are we doing, Adam?
I'm very good, very excited about this massive show on November the 2nd. It's a show that sometimes I let Eddie get on with it and just tell me what's going on, and sometimes I just say, look, it's something I really want to do. And I was very involved in this with Brian Peters and Eddie Hearn to get Katie to fight in early November in the UK on our time zone for the Irish and UK fans here. I think it was really important that we sort of brought her back over this side of the pond after her fantastic successes in America. I said I think it'd be a really good sort of union if you've got Joshua Buatsi alongside her, because they're both such nice, gentle characters outside of the ring and so well respected, and then in the ring they're savage and they're so exciting. So it's fantastic. And then Eddie said, what about Manchester? We could give Anthony Crolla one last go. And I thought, look, when all your Christmases come at once, it's really nice. It's really worked, and they are three of the nicest guys I've ever worked with in boxing, and they're three of the most dedicated and three of the most exciting in the ring. So I think we're going to get a phenomenal fight night on November the 2nd. It's in the Manchester Arena, which is also one of my favourite places in the whole world to come to. Stacked with memories, obviously mainly Ricky Hatton over the years, but so many great fighters like Mike Tyson and Joe Calzaghe and Carl Froch and George Groves and Nigel Benn and Nassim Hamed and you know, all the great Manchester guys like Michael Gomez and Anthony Farnell and all the guys over the years. It became a big place for Anthony Crolla as well for 2 or 3 years. You know, he headlined a number of times, and there's no better place for him to go out. He shared a ring with the greatest in Vasily Lomachenko, and now he can go and have a swan song and say thank you to his fans. And I hope everybody turns out for him, because it will be a poignant and emotional night, and he deserves it.
Definitely. Obviously, with the Manchester Arena, you know, we used to have it as Ricky Hatton, and then Anthony Crolla came along and took that mantle as, you know, it was his house as such. And you know, like was mentioned on the main stage, there's so many times when Anthony Crolla, you know, has gone in there and he's really put on a show. And for us as fans in Manchester and across the country, you know, he's made us really proud.
Absolutely, of course he has. Look who he shared the ring with. You know, the likes of Darlis Perez and Jorge Linares and Lomachenko over there and Ricky Burns. And I mean, he's never had an easy fight. Even the ones with Derry Matthews back in the day, and you know, your Gavin Reeses. I mean, they're really hard fights. And I think Anthony's always wanted to fight the very best. He's never complained about who you put in front of him. He's been an absolute pleasure to deal with from the media side. He came and joined us for Fight Week for Lomachenko and Campbell. I think he'll be an excellent pundit when he finishes. So that's another string to his bow. He's got a lovely little family. He's a great guy. Manchester should be very, very proud of him.
Definitely. Now, obviously looking at the rest of the schedule for the year in terms of Sky Sports, you know, it's a really strong offering. Something that, you know, yourself and Eddie mentioned coming off the beginning of 2019, that the second part of 2019 was going to be a lot stronger, and it certainly is.
Yeah, well, I had a few words with Eddie about 1 or 2 of the shows back end of last year and early this year, and you know, we all know he's you know, taken a lot of fighters out to America. There's a lot of money out there, and you know, the relationship with DAZN is good, and we get a lot of American content for our Sky customers. But the most important thing is here in the UK. You know, that's where the Ricky Hattons, the Anthony Crollas are made. You know, that's where, you know, Carl Froch and Joe Calzaghe and all that, they all had their sort of, you know, big fan groups, and that's where they were known before they went overseas. And I think because obviously there's a lot of money in America, a lot of the fighters are going over there, so it was very important for me to say to Eddie, look, we've got to keep these guys. So having Katie Taylor and Joshua Buatsi sort of headlining at 10 o'clock at night UK time is really important for their futures and their growing their growth in the sport. So yeah, I think we've got a phenomenal lineup. I think this is the most powerful autumn-winter schedule I remember at Sky for maybe 5-6 years. I think it is absolutely stacked. We've got an Italy show this week. We've got an Errol Spence Porter show next week. We've got the beginning of the Golden Contract, which we're delighted to be showing. That's 3 fights, fight nights before Christmas and 3 after Christmas in this new tournament, which will be terrific, cracking domestic fighters. They find out who they're fighting on the week of the fight. We've got a lot of big international coming up in the next 2 or 3 months. We've got some terrific Sky Sports box office events on October the 26th with Taylor in Progress and Chisora all fighting for main attraction. You've got Ricky Burns and Lee Selby and a Coley. You've got AJ and Ruiz obviously dancing again out in the desert in December, and there's a lot more to be announced as well. You know, I can't say too much about a few things, but there's a lot in going on behind the scenes to make it probably the best schedule, certainly the best back-end schedule we've probably ever had on Sky Sports in a sort of 4-month period. So I hope the fans are happy, and I hope that everyone enjoys it. Newcastle's a terrific show on October the 19th. Then we're here, and we've got more big announcements coming soon as well. Fantastic. And that's not just the promoter. This not. Yeah. I'm the broadcaster here. I'm not Eddie just promoting it. I'm the broadcaster. You know, we demand that we get real good value for our customers. And honestly, I think I've been at Sky a long time. That this is going to be one of the best schedules we've ever brought to the customers before 2019's out.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, thanks for your time, Adam.
Pleasure.
All the best. Thank you.